Up on the screen, you see kind of a list of upcoming dates for assignments that you guys have, and today you're going to have time to work on these assignments because there is not notes or anything today, it's just a work day. So the first thing on that list is we need to talk about the bump assignment, which I'm going to do in just a moment. And then after that, you guys are already aware that you have 105 problem set that is due on the 3rd. That includes 3 different parts to it. One of those is your workbook practice, which was the paper that you picked up. Although it is on paper, there is a Google form for you to turn in that accompanies that. That's how it gets graded. It asks you to turn in pictures of each page, and it's going to ask you questions about each page to kind of at least spot check some of that. And so that is due by the 3rd. Along with the other 2. The other 2, one of them is in Schoology. It is a graphing activity that's a card sort in Desmos that also has a quiz. So you'll see that. And then the other is the Mastering Physics, the math practice portion on constant velocity in your online textbook. So those 3 things are all due on Tuesday. Your toy car RA is due on Wednesday of next week. Then there is also a Dueling Dune Buggies checkpoint that is going to, in Mastering Physics, so it's also in your online textbook, but it's just a single scenario that you have to do some calculations or graphing or something to solve. But you'll see that in Mastering Physics as well. It is due next week, the same day as your toy car RA, actually on the 4th, on Wednesday. And then you do have a test next week if you haven't been looking ahead at the calendar or paying attention to the dates at the top. There are 2 tests this unit. Test 1 is on the 5th, that is next Thursday. And then you have another test over this unit on the 25th. So again, that's upcoming as well, so you may want to start taking a look at some things that you can use to study. In addition to that, I would recommend that you also just kind of read through the appropriate chapter in the textbook as well, just for that extra information over this unit on constant velocity. I can look up those pages in a minute. And then if you don't already have them, please bring in supplies for this class. They've been on the board for a couple days, but actually the whole week. So if you haven't noticed them up there, please take a look, because there are certain things you need for this class. I've mentioned a physics binder before, or at least some section in a binder, if you don't have the space to have a dedicated one. But you do need to have a way to organize your labs and keep them together throughout the year. In fact, you're going to have a grade for keeping your labs together, a lab notebook check at the end of each semester. So that'll be upcoming, but in addition to that, just general class supplies that you would need, along with whole group supplies for the room, all that is up on the board. So I said we're going to come back to the bump assignment, so that's what I'd like to do now. I want to show you where you can find it. So this is Schoology, the course page, and I added this folder in that says bump assignments. And you'll see that there is a bump assignment for grading period 1 uploaded in here. There will be one for each grading period. Let me zoom in so we can read this. But in case you are not aware of this, obviously if you guys end up at the end of the 9 weeks with an 89.4, I do not bump that. Okay, I will not bump your grades. However, unless you complete the bump assignment. You can earn points on your grades, but I will not bump them if you do not do this. Okay, so in the course, the teacher will not bump grades. Again, your 89 is not going to go to a 90. The only way to guarantee that your grade will be bumped at the end of the marking period is to complete this assignment. This is not a completion extra credit assignment. You have to earn at least an 80 on it in order to guarantee that you get the bumped grade. If you complete the bump assignment and get the minimum score needed, you will receive a 2-point bump, and that is a 2-point bump on your report card grade. Okay, which means you don't have to come and ask me, can you bump my 88? This will bump your 88 for me. Okay, now if you don't do it and you have an 88, I'm going to say, well, you should have done the bump assignment. Same thing if you have an 89. Now if you have an 87, no, I'm not going to bump it 3 points because it's an 87. You can get an 89, but it's not going to go up more than that. Okay, so it's only worth up to 2 points. The due date for this is October 7th for this marking period. There are no late assignments taken. If you're gone on October 7th, then you better find a way to get it turned in. If you know you're going to be gone or whatever. I will not take it late. You're welcome to turn it in early though. The actual details of the assignment can be found here in this PDF file, which you can download or just view in Schoology. Let me open it up. Okay, and it says the same thing that we just read along with the due date, but this is the assignment. Okay, and so this one is about your reaction time, and you have to produce basically it's an infographic or a poster that you're producing, but it goes through what needs to be on it along with a rubric down here at the bottom, and again you have to make sure that you earn at least an 80 on it to get points, so obviously you do want to pay attention to how those points are earned. Okay, so that's the whole thing, it's just this page. You guys can read it on your own because you will find it, as I said, in the Schoology course. So if you haven't seen that folder yet, which you probably haven't because I just put it in there this morning, then you may want to open it up and take a look and maybe even put that date on your calendar so that you don't forget about it as it's coming up. So anyway, that is the bump assignment. If you want your grade to be bumped, you got to do it. I had people that ended up in tough situations last year that didn't do that, and I said, I'm sorry, I cannot help you. So please make sure that you do it. That way, even if you think you're going to do fine, just in case, I mean, it's not going to hurt anything if you bump your 93 to a 95. Okay, so just consider that. All right, guys, so that is that. Again, today you have a list of things that you can work on, including these 105 problem sets, 106 toy car array, or 107 dueling dune buggies. So I'm going to go ahead and stop talking and let you guys get to work, or you could even start looking at that bump assignment if you like. If for some reason anybody still has the signed paperwork from the beginning of the year and you haven't turned it in yet, please make sure that you bring that up here. Go ahead and get to work. You have the whole period as a work day, so it is your time. Use it wisely. If you have questions, please let me know.